Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Mr. Fred and Friends. I'm your host, Fred Schultz, and I got another great show for you tonight. I've got some guys on tonight that I think an awful lot of. They're very good for paintball. Everybody knows that I only put people that are good for paintball on this show. I keep it real simple. I love the sport and I love pushing the sport, and good people make the sport grow. Bad people just kind of make it like go away, and I don't want that. Real quick, I got to say hi to Paul Farrell and Ryan Courtney and Matthew Lund and Facebook user. They all jumped in right away at the beginning of the show. And, Paul Farrell, Ryan Courtney, I can't say enough about those guys every week. They're the first two to jump on. Absolutely love it and appreciate it so very, very much. Very, very cool. Got a few things to say tonight, but tonight I've got some great guys on. We're going to talk about the NXL tournament that just happened up at Capital Edge Paintball up in Sacramento at Dave Bain's place. And I've got two guys that actually played in it, but are really good for paintball. I've got Mitch Gaynor. A million people know Mitch. He's like me, he's him and I used to ride dinosaurs together. So him and I've been around a while. Great guy. You're going to love it. Kenny Stewart, General Paintball Museum. How you doing this evening, Kenny? Right on, buddy. Kenny's watching us from up there in Michigan, everybody. And he's getting his museum back together. He moved from Kentucky up to Michigan. And I mean, when I say he has a museum, he has a serious museum. And so anyhow, he's putting it back together up there. He's got a building and everything, and he's getting it set up. So as soon as he gets that all together, Kenny, I'm going to drag you back on the show, buddy. Love having you on the show. And I can't wait to see your new setup. I think it's going to be very cool. Stephen Snow, how you doing, my brother? Down there in the LA area. Absolutely love it. So anyhow, tonight I've got Mitch Gaynor on, like I said, and then I've got another newcomer on that I've known for a while. His dad played paintball with me years and years ago, and his dad still plays paintball. And he has raised his son just great. His son's not only a terrific paintball player, but his son is very, very, very good for paintball. Just a classy guy. You guys are going to love to listen to Mr. Dylan Cadbury. He's just a great guy. Can't wait to pull him up. We're going to talk a little bit. I know how he got started in paintball. Obviously, his dad. Okay, his dad and I played paintball 30 some years ago. Great time. Dirk's still out there banging away too. He's still a heck of a player, but he's got his son just running rampant. He is one heck of a player and a very classy kid. And then also I am going to have Todd Fonzi on. Now Todd plays for the Wolverines, and everybody knows I love that team. I think the Wolverines are a great team. They really, really are. And Todd is an absolutely terrific guy, and I'm looking forward so much to talking to him tonight also. So I got a few things I got to mention. I'm going to give my shout outs real quick. But Tracy Perez is doing another fundraiser. Everybody knows that I did the fundraiser for Tracy a while back, and she's back in the hospital she has a fibrosis. It's a lung disease. I can't pronounce it, so I'll go there with it. Anyhow, she is really, really cool. And she's got another fundraiser right now. And I don't have the website that you can get onto. There's a few spots left. It's $20 a spot. And it's for 50. There's 50. Only 50 of these Hermesis headbands were made. And there's 2 of them that are going to go out. And she is going to do a double spin. So she'll spin it once. There's 100 spots. She'll spin it once. They get the first headband. They'll spin it again. They get the second headband. So you get 2 chances to win. It's $20 a spot. And I'll put it up on Flagpole later on. And then we can go ahead and it helps her out. It really, really does. Her doctor bills, the insurance only covers so much. And her doctor bills are just enormous. And she's back in ICU right now. So, Tracy, we love you. And, our prayers go out to you. And, I talked to Bud earlier, and we're working on some other things for you, sweetie. So anyhow, I'll put that out on my website. You're going to want to look on Flagpole Productions here. In a few hours, I'll have it up there. And you can go ahead and $20, you get 2 chances to win. 1 of 50 Hormesis headbands. Pretty cool. And then real quick, I got to say happy birthday It was yesterday, but obviously my show is today. So, yeah, it is what it is. To Mr. Francis Swain. Francis is back east. Great kid. Played on the Hellhounds. Now he's with the Ottoman Aces and the Joker, which is another team I absolutely love. So I just want to wish you a happy birthday, my friend. Another quick thing, we got a new member coming into the WCPL, a new field that we're going to be talking about. It's already a done deal, but I want to wait to have him on the show, him and his partner. And so maybe in a week or two, I'll bring them guys up and we'll talk about it. But it's somebody that probably 99% of you people out there know. Great guy. You're going to absolutely love this too. It's pretty cool. And then I got to mention the WCPL is coming in St. Louis at Gateway Paintball, Tim Schloss's place there. Just a fabulous field. I mean, just fabulous field. And anyhow, it's going to be October 15th through the 17th. So I'm definitely looking on to having that come on. And Ben Silverstein, how are you doing, Ben, this evening, my friend? Very cool. Whoa, we got 22 people already jumping on. How cool. Because everybody knows, we get most of our views the next night because it's like 10 o'clock back east, and overseas they watch us in 10 different countries. It's like late 30 in the other countries. So anyhow, right on, Ben Silverstein. I'm glad you jumped in, my friend. Very cool. And then I got this just came in a little while ago, and it's at Salt Fork Paintball in St. Joseph, Illinois, August 20th. They're going to sell a bunch of things, and 10% of all the money that the field takes in, it's going to help veterans. So I just found out about this a little bit ago. I'm going to go ahead and I'll also put it up on Flagpole. I think it's something great. I'm a veteran. I think anything that we can do to help the veterans, I think, is first class. And so I'm very happy to give these guys a hand, but I have to wait to really find out what's going on a little bit more. Give my shout outs real quick. I give these out every week. I know everybody's going, hey, you're talking too damn much. Bring out Mitch and Dylan. Yeah. They're going to be here in a minute, guys. They're going to be here in a minute. I promise you. Oh, also, I'm setting up another girl show, and guess who I'm going to have on? Oh my God, I'm going to have the Bond chick on. I cannot wait to have her on. Her and I have texted back and forth. I've never met her. Everybody I know her. So even Mitch coming on tonight. Oh yeah, I know her. So, but anyhow, I can't wait to meet her. I can't wait to meet her face to face. But I'm going to drag her out on my show, and I'm going to absolutely love it. Now let me give my shout outs. These are guys back in the day. Everybody enjoys paintball like it is right now, and paintball's cool. Don't get me wrong. But, back in the day, these guys worked their butts off, not just the time and money they spent, but just tons of effort. Because, when we started paintball, it wasn't like it is now. You could not run to 1 million stores or 1 million fields. That just wasn't happening. And everywhere you go, people go, oh, you guys are warmongers, So we had to fight through all of that. These guys here put out tons of money, tons of time, and tons of effort to make paintball grow, and they've done a terrific job, and I'm extremely happy with them. Let me give my shout out so I can get these guys out here. I start with Tim Schloss. Tim Schloss had Tiger Stripe camouflage back in the day, and there's a new Tiger Stripe coming out. It just got approved. The colors just got approved because he wanted the original colors, the original pattern, everything. I know there's a lot of copies out there. This is going to be an original Tiger Stripe. He owns Gateway Paintball. That's where the WCPL is going to be there in October. And he is just one of the nicest guys you ever want to meet. He's always first out. I got to mention him. Then I mentioned Dan and John Colby. They own Immortal Air. I started with them guys over 30 years ago. They've been my sponsors for like 32 years here now. And they started Air America, and now they're Immortal Air. And I'm still sponsored by them. Absolutely love it. And then Bud Orr. I don't even have to say anything about Bud Orr, just his name, Bud Orr, autococker. You just can't say enough about the guy. He has worked his butt off for a lot of years and is still out there playing paintball with me in the band for paintball. So still out there promoting the heck out of it. And then Tom K was my second sponsor back in the day, Airgun Designs. I Still have my original Automag here that the last one I played with, my original one was stolen. It's somewhere up in Canada right now. But anyhow, that's another story I'll get into some other time. Frank and Juvie Boucher, they had Paintball News back in the day. Paintball News, 2 times a month you could go out to your field and get this paper, and you didn't pay nothing for it. The player could just go get it. It told you what just happened, what was coming up, where all the fields were located, what was for sale. It was like the Bible of paintball. And Rainey and Juvie Boucher, a lot of years they did this, and they did not make a ton of money off it, but they did it for the love of paintball. So that's why their name gets mentioned. Randy Camilla was the editor for APG, gave me my first cover shot back in the day. Mr. Jerry Braun, Jerry had Paintball Sports magazine back in the day. And now we have Paintball Sports Field, which is the oldest wood paintball field out there, period. It's the Ponderosa. And if you ever got a chance to play it, boom, go do it. It's a kick. It absolutely is. Then I say hi to Mr. Ross Alexander. He was my very first marker sponsor. Line SI, the Bushmaster, which I still have, which I played my first tournament, professional tournament with. It was a pump. It was still 15 man back in the day. And then Jim Lively, 2 tournaments a year you wanted to do. Jim Lively's Masters, Jerry Braun's World Cup. Those were like homecomings for paintball guys. We go to those. And all our paintball friends were always there. It was just absolutely terrific. And then I say hi to Gino from Belkin. Does Gino sponsor me? Nope, not at all. But I know what Gino does behind the scenes. Gino does very well in paintball. Everybody knows that. There's no guesswork in that. But what he does behind the scenes for paintball, he just does not talk about. So I do talk about it. I think it's absolutely terrific what he does. And then I mentioned my 2 little buddies, Mark Gong Jr. and Jaden Gong, 2 of the Hermans. I'm all in for the young guns because they're the future of our sport, period, man. As much as I love paintball, I'm not going to be around forever, and then I got guys right now that are taking the baton, guys like Dylan and a lot of these other guys. They're doing very, very well for the sport. They're very classy, very cool, and that's what it takes to keep the sport going. Well, the young guns, these kids are like, from 8 to 14 or 16, and so they're the next group coming up. So it's just an amazing thing. I absolutely love it. So I appreciate everybody putting up with that tonight. I'm going to start bringing out some of my guests here tonight. I'm going to start with Mr. Mitch Gaynor. How you doing this evening, Mitch?
I'm doing excellent. How are you doing, Freddie?
I'm doing pretty good, except my earpiece. I think it's the bad ear. I don't think it's the little speaker thing, but it is what it is. But I'm so glad that you got to join me tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's my pleasure. And we got a couple other good guys on here tonight. We got Dylan Cadbury and we got Todd Fonzi. Matter of fact, let me pull Dylan up right now so we can all say hi to him. Please, everybody, welcome Mr. Dylan Cadbury. How you doing this evening, Dylan?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great, buddy. Doing great. We got Todd Fonzi. He jumped on. I think he lost his camera. Oh, he's got it back now. Outstanding. Now, Todd had to go down. Todd's doing business down in Texas or something like that. So he's taking the time to run back, jump on, and be on with us tonight. Todd plays for the Wolverines. Please, everybody, welcome Todd Fonzi. I'm killing myself.
Todd,
how you doing,
What's
Todd?
up, bud? I had to get my Dylan look in.
Hey, check it out. I love it. I love it.
See it.
Yeah, I'm loving it. So, how you doing tonight, man? You're in Texas tonight, huh?
Yeah, out in Dallas right now. It's hot.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, hey, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you coming on tonight.
Oh, honored to be on here. Thank you, Fred, for asking.
Oh, it's my pleasure. I mean, look at the other 2 guests I got, huh?
I know, man.
I mean,
buddies.
what a trio of cool guys. I probably don't even belong on the same screen, but I'm here, so it's my show. I'm going to stay here. So, what I do is everybody that's on the show for the first time, I always have to ask them how they got started in paintball because, just like myself, everybody else out there is interested, because everybody out there knows how they got started in paintball, and some of the stories are just great. So I'm going to ask all 3 of you how you got started in the paintball, and I'm going to start with you, Mitch. You're up to bat, buddy. How'd you get started in paintball?
Years ago, late 80s, early 90s, about 89, 90. My neighbors actually ran a church youth group, and in their back field they had paintball every weekend. So I ended up starting going to that and really got interested in paintball. And fortunately, I grew up right outside of Sacramento in the Sierra, and that was a hotbed of paintball in the early 90s. So I ended up meeting a lot of people, hanging out the old WAP, the old, all those old fields, Paintball Sam's, great times. Met Glenn Palmer back when he was young. Me and Craig were tiny, running around together way back. And one thing led to another. Here I am 30 years later, still slinging paint at my friends.
And loving it. Yeah. You still do pretty good. You know, you mentioned Glenn Palmer. You know, when I started hanging out with Glenn, I'd go up there on the weekends and hang out with him. Glenn was still building things in his garage. He hadn't even got to his shop yet. So, you know, so we go way back. So I was really glad that you just mentioned him because, you know, he's a great guy. And then, you know, Paintball Sam's, man, I banged away a lot up there. You know, Ed Pollock used to have it, and his son, O. And yeah, that brings back some memories there, Mitch. Boy, I got to tell you, we got some history behind us, huh?
It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. Hey, I had Ben Silverstein jump on, and he says it's crazy. Todd Fonzi looks like he's in his 30s. Ben, you sure you didn't get confused with the guy in the upper left? Okay, anyhow.
Add about 20, and you'll be close.
Oh, Dylan, you're up next, buddy. Now, real quick, a little up front here. Dylan is the son of Dirk Cadbury. Now, Dirk played on Constant Pursuit with me years ago, played on the Ironman for the next 100 years. So, you know, Dirk is still one heck of a player and one heck of a nice guy. And his son, Dylan, is no different. So just a little history right there, too. So, Dylan, I'm pretty sure we all know how you got started, but give us the shot anyhow, buddy. How'd you get started in paintball?
Oh, about 5 years ago, my dad decided to come out of retirement, and he went and played about 3 or 4 times at Capitol Edge Paintball Park, which used to be Paintball Sam's. And then he came back home telling me about how much fun he's been having and everything. And we've always had something that we bonded with, whether it was motorcycles, football, soccer. So I decided to give it a shot, and I actually started playing pump originally, so I had a Empire pump sniper. And that's what I started with, and then went out there a couple times, played the wood fields with him, and got sick and tired of him shooting me. So I decided I had to become better than him. So you know, kept on playing every weekend and fell in love with the sport. And 5 years later, now we're, you know, brought the Army back together and playing tournaments all over the place, having a great time. So.
You know, I watched a video a few weeks ago. I can't remember what game it was, but I seen you and your dad both going up to bunker a guy at the same time. You guys made the push at the end.
Yeah, we bunkered Mike Paxton in the finals at the ICPL in Sacramento together. So I couldn't, like I said, I had to be better than him. I couldn't let him beat me to Mike Paxton for that bunker. So.
It was just funny, you know, that's got to be one for the record books, you know, the father and son going together like that to doing the same guy, you know. And Mike Paxton's a great guy too, you know.
Yeah, he's a nice guy. He wasn't too happy with us after that, but you know, all in all, he's a great guy.
You know, we all get over it. We all get the heck shot out of it. Sometimes we get over it. Oh, somebody says Dylan rocks. I wonder if that's Mike. No. So Todd, I guess that brings us to you, my friend. Now Todd plays for the Wolverines, and as I said in my lead up, you know, I think the world of the Wolverines. You know, Ian Jocks, I blow his name, so he understands it. You know, Ian knows I love him. You know, and he plays for the Wolverines also, and I think the Wolverines is a terrific team with terrific guys on it. And Todd happens to be one of them. So, Mr. Fonzi, tell us how you got started in paintball, my friend.
I actually went on a work trip with some friends. They asked me if I wanted to go play paintball, and I had done it when I was a lot younger, maybe about 16. I just could never afford it really. So I got into a position where I'm like, yeah, let's go play some paintball. And I got the bug and could not stop after that. And then started doing the Davis pump series. So this guy Don that used to own Infinite Edge introduced me to a pump gun, and that just opened my eyes in the world of paintball for me. So I went with pump for a lot of years. We used to play the Davis pump series, and then that kind of faded out. So we had to convert over into the mech field, and start competing with that. So just to keep the thing going, because there's not a lot of pump left. And here we are about 11 years later.
Yeah, and they got the PBSL. The PBSL still does a lot of pump too. Right
Yeah,
now, I love the PBSL. They're one of the sponsors of the PBSL. I think that's a great organization. I like the people in it too. I think a lot of the people around. As a matter of fact, Dennis just put out I haven't got it here, but Dennis just put out a thing, and they got like 4 tournaments coming up. If you get on the PBSL website, you'll be able to see they got some pretty cool tournaments coming up. Hey, I like that one. I can't remember what the heck name it is, but they have you can have 3 mechs, and the other 7 got to be pump. So that's a pretty cool tournament too.
Yeah, I like that.
So, how'd you get started with the Wolverines?
I actually started it because there was no teams when I started playing, and I didn't really know a lot of people. So I'm like, well, might as well start a team then, and just pulled some random people. And Micah actually contributed 2 players that I still am friends with, and actually Zarian plays on the squad now, and so we're still in touch, and it's more of a family. I mean, yeah, we love paintball and we play paintball, but for us as a team, it's more about the parking lot and off the field dynamics. And then we just happen to get lucky and have a bunch of people that can perform well together.
Yeah, well, you play pretty good yourself, man.
Yeah, I try. I got to keep up with all the good people. So.
and Dylan, I know how you got started on the Ironman. That pretty much goes without question. Seeing your dad is there, what do you think? Of them revitalizing the Ironman like they did.
Oh, I heard about it. It was in the woodworks for about 8 months before anything really, happened. It was a lot of talk until the Bay City Classic. But I was super stoked. I was asking my dad every day about it. Meanwhile, while all this was going on, though, I was playing with Todd on the Wolverines. So, but yeah,
and your dad.
I was. Yeah, he was too, and
that was a force to be reckoned with, man.
Yeah, and it was. I was excited, and I was really pushing for it. What it was getting all the older guys back out playing again was really the hard part, because if my dad brought it back, he wanted it to be the original Ironman. He wanted as many of the originals that he could get on it. So it took us a little while to get everybody out, but all in all, it was well worth it, and I've been having the time of my life playing on it.
Yeah, there. I wish you could go back to when we actually all started these teams. I started Constant Pursuit and then the Ironman. We practiced against each other, all the time. But Michael Beard played on Constant Pursuit. Your dad started on Constant Pursuit and then went to the Ironman. So up here in Northern California, we've just back in the days we were intertwined with each other so much, and we had such powerhouse teams. Oh, yeah, there you go. You lost your camera for a second.
Sorry, somebody was calling me.
Yeah. No problem, man. Yeah, telling you how good you look with your hair, huh? See, I knew I should have wore a light-colored shirt, damn it. Oh, well, it is what it is. So, Mitch, you played this last weekend. I want to talk a little bit now about the NXL tournament we just had. I talked to Tommy when we were there, Tom Cole. Tommy and I, we go back a lot of years. He had Bad Company back in the day. So the Ironman and Constant Pursuit, we all, and his team, we used to butt heads all the time, man. But he's got a pretty good thing going with the NXL right now. And I was pretty impressed when I went up there. It's moving pretty quick. So who did you play with up there, Mitch?
I played 7-man mech with Sacramento DMG, team we basically created on Facebook for ICP or the ICPL earlier this year in Sacramento, and literally set our roster on like a Friday. Met these guys on Saturday morning, and we ended up coming in, I think fourth at that turn, fourth or fifth. I don't remember, fifth, something like that, and had a great time together. And we decided, hey, when NXL rolls through town, let's play 10-man or mech or whatever the weird division they have in. And it turned out this time to be 7-man mech. So I played with them on Saturday. And on Sunday, I pitted for Journey. That's Destiny's 3-woman team. And they actually ended up winning the whole thing, the 3-woman division, that is. And away we go with that. Like, we went 3-5, which could have easily been 5-3. We shot ourselves in the foot a couple times, a couple stupid penalties. We were up 3-1 in a game, then basically just couldn't close the deal. So, learning experience. Our second tournament together, we only had a few practices together, but after this tournament, we actually all sat down and decided it's time to actually get this thing really rolling and get the true DMG mech team rolling. So we'll see how it goes in the future. And it seems like these guys want to travel, so you might be seeing us all over the place.
Oh, very cool. That's the way to do it. And you were talking about you guys shot yourself in the foot. I've seen the worst team beat the best team. I've seen that happen a lot of times. And look at Destiny. And I mean, you guys, they're a great team. Lilith Thong, I think that's how you pronounce her name. She played on two. Yeah. She played on 2 different teams, and she was saying, I texted her last night. She was saying that the games were on opposite ends, so she had to play this game here and had hardly any time to run all the way down to go play, because she played the 3-man and something else. I don't know exactly.
She played, I believe it was D4 5-man. She won them both. That was the joke all weekend, was Lynn, leave some medals for the rest of us.
Oh, really?
I think it was D4 5-man. Pretty sure it was D4 5-man, and she won. That was as Sacramento, one of the Sacramento DMG teams. Then at the same time, she was literally, as you were saying, she'd run by the pits. I'd just stuff her pack full of pods and send her out on the field, and boom, she turned around and won 3-woman too.
Yep. Yeah, she was texting me yesterday, so she had a heck of a weekend, And
Lynn's just chimed in. It was D3 5-man. I'm sorry.
Oh, and look at Dynasty. I mean, Dynasty. Everybody expected them to be number 1 in there, and they ended up, what you said, 5th.
I believe it was 5th. Yeah.
Yeah. So and they're an outstanding team. Just because they don't get first in this one, that doesn't mean they're not going to come back, because they're a powerhouse, period. But, it just boils down to what I was saying earlier. Any given day, any team can beat another team. It's just how it rolls that day sometimes. It's just amazing. So you guys didn't do too bad out there, Todd.
We did. Yeah, we did decent in the prelims, and then Dylan put it on us in the quarters. Ironman took us out, man. We had this friendly back and forth.
Love you.
It's like, whose tournament is this, Dylan? Is it ours or yours? Because
hey, you guys
meet,
walked
one of
all
us is
over
going
us.
home, man. Like
you guys walked all over us on that hyperball field, but as soon as we got out to the Mounds field, baby, it was on.
The Mounds is your world, man.
Oh, so Dylan, you like the Mounds field, huh?
I do, yeah. Especially the one out at Capitol Edge. I think Dave Bain did a pretty good job at building that. I do believe that's the 3rd time he's messed with it, and I think he's got it pretty much dialed in now. But yeah, it's most definitely one of my favorite fields around.
It's
you guys like playing
my
woods ball?
favorite Mounds field.
You guys like playing woods
nemesis.
What's that?
I said, do you guys like playing woods ball?
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
I'm really looking forward to going out to Chicago towards the end of this year to play in Chicago.
Oh, excellent. Yeah. I should bring you out sometime to play with the band. I should let you come and guest on the band sometime.
I would love to.
Yeah, because we love the woods ball. That's our big thing. And, woods ball is making a good comeback right now, actually, too, And what I like about woods ball, because you got to admit, I mean, you guys are young, so you guys are still fast, I raced a turtle last week, come in second. So, but anyhow, the thing is, when you get into the hyperball, which I like hyperball though too, but you get into like the blow up fields and stuff, those are quick. You got to be quick to do that stuff, man. And that's all there is to it. And I was talking about Ian earlier. Ian is like a little rocket. That kid is so fast, my God, and what a great player too. You know that though, Todd, don't you?
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah, and he's a good kid. He's
Solid
how I met Ian a few years ago. They had the cancer benefit, so I donated a new Immortal air tank, and this is up in Sacramento, and he won it. He won the air tank in a raffle. So I gave him the air tank and we took a picture. And I still have a picture of him and I, an 8x10, in my living room with my other paintball pictures hanging right on the wall. I talked to the kid for about 15, 20 minutes. And I got to tell you, I felt like I knew him for a year. Very impressionable, very friendly. And so I told him, I said, we'll hook up sometime. So this year in New York, we went for the WCPL tournament there. And I got a hold of him. I says, hey, Ian, I said, you want to come and guest on my team? And he said, yeah. He came out there and we had a great time. He's a lot of fun. He really, really is.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, you guys could have used him this last weekend. Then.
Yeah, I was telling him we were missing him. It's like we needed your energy out there. Yeah.
Well,
the team we have is so solid, like the people just, we'll get there. It's just a matter of putting in the time. I mean, we didn't even do a practice for this tournament, so I was actually pretty happy with how it turned out for us, even though we didn't make it all the way to the top.
Yeah. Back in the day, the Ironmen and Constant Pursuit, my team, we practiced every weekend. And we traveled to all the NPPL tournaments. And, we were always in the top four, both the teams. So, yeah, the Ironman.
That's what it takes.
That's why I was so happy to see the Ironman getting back together. And what really blew me away more than anything is Dirk had his son playing. Michael Beard had his son playing. And I'm like, oh, my God, how the hell old am I? I mean? I just thought that was so cool. Oh.
And Jamie and his son, Jamie Caravero and his son, Garrett.
Yep.
They were playing on the team for a while too, so.
And Michael Beard's grandson's out there playing too, I'm like, give me a break.
Well, and then you got Rick running by everyone. You're like,
I know. Rick and Hoss crawling by you.
Crawling by you.
You got to be talking about Rick Sandias.
Yeah.
Rick played. He played with Constant Pursuit back in the day for a while too, and then he was with the Ironman. Rick is still a hell of a player. I mean, and he's thin. The guy's got to run around in the shower to get wet. But he is extremely fast and still one hell of a good shot. So, I took a picture of him. He got shot in the neck.
With us.
What's that?
You saw Vu was playing with us at this last one.
Oh yeah. Well, Vu played on Constant Pursuit too. Vu played on Constant Pursuit for a couple of years.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I say,
Did you see his dirt bike?
No, I haven't seen his dirt bike.
He had a pit bike for the event, and he was cruising around with a cigarette hanging out of his mouth, and cruising around the parking lot on his little fat tire dirt bike.
Yeah, I took some pictures with him because when I seen him, I gave him a big hug, and I took some pictures with him. And Keith Kissel goes, "Oh man, Fred, look, he looks like he's crying." And I go, "Oh my God." Yeah, Vu's another hell of a good little player, man.
Yeah,
really, really is. Yeah, you got a good team, Todd. You really do, and it takes work. Sometimes you can throw a team together and go out and win something, but very, very rare. And when you're playing against the caliber of the teams that you were playing this last weekend, extremely rare. So it just takes practice. It takes time. The more guys gel together, the better you get. Period.
That's my thing. I'm
Look
always
at Dynasty,
like, what calls? Yeah, I was like, how about we just get on the field more, and then we don't have to worry about a bunch of calls that everyone's going to forget.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. But what happens is when you start playing together, you kind of sense what the other guy's going to do. And when the guy that you're backing when he moves up, you don't stand there. You get moving up too, give him some support. That's what I did with Ian. I backed Ian up in New York. That was almost a mistake, man. I was out of breath trying to keep up with that guy. Jeez. It was amazing. So, but yeah, I thought the tournament was pretty good. What'd you guys think of the roughing and everything?
I don't have any complaints about the reffing after this tournament, to be honest. So this was one of the better, obviously our calls was some of the better reffing that we've had in quite a few tournaments. So
very cool. What do you think, Mitch?
We had no problems with the refs.
Excellent.
We apparently all three of us played 7-man, but our ref crew was pretty good. I totally agree with Dylan there. Very different from the ICPL earlier this year. Like we had lots of problems with the ICPL refs. This time refs were great. And
really?
Like I said before, we all said before, like that Mounds field is hands down my favorite Mounds field. And the Hyperball field there is also pretty good. Although I did like that field we played down in WCC or WCPL down in Florida. That was a really nice,
wasn't it? That was, the Woods field was kind of funny because they had 6 trees on it. But
seriously, there was like 6 trees on the field.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Mitch, I was down there with Mitch, so yeah, he's absolutely great. But it was still a cool field the way he had it dug out, and he had the mounds and stuff there. And his mounds field was pretty good too. Had all them brush and stuff growing out of them. Obviously, we got whacked on it, but it is what it is. I had a great time. Got a little warm down there, but other than that, it was a lot of fun. It was pretty cool seeing you down there too, Mitch. I like that.
I'll definitely be seeing you in St. Louis too.
Oh, who are you going to play with there?
I've been asked by 3 different teams, and I don't know who I'm going to say yes to yet.
Because I got a team you can play on there too. That there was a put together team. There was 7 guys from the St. Louis area, all good players, but they needed 3 more. And now I've got Jeff Thompson is coming down from Canada, and I can't remember his name now. Damn it, he's getting. Anyhow, we got another guy coming down with them, so I think there's still 1 guy short. So if you're looking for a team, that would be a good team.
4 teams to choose from.
What's that?
So now I have 4 teams to choose from.
Well, Lilo's played on 2 teams. No.
Who's buying dinner?
Bud.
All 4 teams.
All 4 teams.
St. Louis and
all you can eat, Mitch.
You're going to go down and play that Decay of Nations?
No Decay of the Nations this year for me. I think that falls on the same weekend. I'm going back east for some game. I don't remember. I have to look and dig deep into my phone. I'm everywhere this year. Everywhere last year.
Yeah, I've tried. I'm really picking and choosing. I'd like to do all of them, but back in the day, for 12 straight years, I was only home 8 days a month. The rest of the time I was traveling for paintball. So it's kind of good just to kind of pick and choose. But I might go down and do that, or I'm thinking about doing the LA Remember Foundation, and that's in September. That's in Colorado. So I'm thinking about. I don't know which one of those I'm going to go do yet.
I think it was 2019. It was the year before COVID. I played almost every weekend, and it was in December when I finally played a game in California, my home state.
Yeah, I used to do when I wasn't doing tournaments. I did big games. They would fly me all over the place to do big games. I go general to big games, and that's where I met so many people. I love tournaments. Don't get me wrong, but back in the day, it became like a business for me, the tournaments thing. It's a little different now. Dynasty might seem like a business to them, but back then for me, it was a business, and everybody was watching you all the time. The sponsors, the people, the players, just everything. So when I go do the big games, there was nothing on the line. I would just go out. I get to meet hundreds of brand new, really cool people, have a great time, go shoot the crap out of them, let them shoot the crap out of me. And we were all friends at the end of the day with no problem. So I loved the big games back in the day. They were pretty cool. And they weren't scenario games. They were go capture the flag. So, it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. But, the tournament scene now is, it seems to be pretty cool, and it's got some good guys out there right now too, like you guys, all of you guys right there are going out and playing. And everybody else I talked to when I was up there this weekend, I didn't see any hassles with each other or anything like that. Everything looked like it was going pretty smooth.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody any thoughts on it? You guys didn't see any trouble there, right?
No.
No.
Yeah, and see, that's what it's about. That's good for paintball because you popped off again, Dylan. Someone calling you. See, now he's an East Lev now. Now next time I'm gonna go, hey Dylan, you want to be on my show? He's gonna go on and on, Freddy. Send me the check, we'll talk.
No. Same person keeps calling me over and over and over again.
Is she cute?
My wife, yeah. She's very beautiful.
Now you can go home. I love it.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, it's I think that the tournament circuit right now, and not having any fights there, because I seen all kinds of people that were there that weren't playing paintball. You could tell that they were just there to check it out. And see, that's how you guys sell paintball. You come off the field, if somebody comes off, they're bitching about this and yelling about that, swearing, and people that are just watching and never played paintball before, that's going to turn them off. They're going to go, I don't want nothing to do with this bunch, But they see people like you guys coming off, just playing hard, having a good time. That makes everybody want to try it. Am I right?
Absolutely.
Hope so. Yeah, that's the goal.
Yeah, you.
Good.
Todd, you came off smiling, and I think you lost the game that you came off, but you were still smiling.
Yeah. It's better than being on the couch, playing video games. Is the way I see it. Keep me young, keep me moving, hanging out with all my buddies. Even if there's times where there's tension, whatever. Once you get to the parking lot, it's all squashed. It's just adrenaline, and we're all out there to win. Nobody's out there to lose. So.
Great way to put it. You're
just shake it
correct.
off and remember, like, man, what are you talking about? We just barbecued last, or whatever that is. Find the common ground again,
Yeah. You got to, God can't even make everybody happy, so
no.
It's just, it's just not going to happen. But, the more you try, the better it is for the sport. And people know I love building this sport, but one person can't build it. It takes, just like all three of you guys on here tonight. That's what it takes to make paintball bigger and better, And I just like the people that are watching, and the people are going to watch tomorrow and the next day this show, they're going to see the type of attitude you guys have here on this show. And even people that don't play paintball are going to watch it, and they're going to say, you know what? If this is the kind of guys that are out there, I want to get involved and go out and meet some of these guys. Mm-hmm. So that I think is very cool. What do you think, Mitch? You can smile,
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, that's it. That's enough. So, so Mitch, you go back a long ways playing paintball. What do you think of paintball now compared to when you started?
I don't know.
That's a tough one, ain't it?
I would say it used to be way more competitive, but now it's way more athletic. If that makes sense.
Very well put. Mm-hmm. Nope, absolutely. Yeah.
It's like back in the day, it was like any team had a chance to win. Like there wasn't like a conglomeration of teams just having the good players. Like every team had good players, and it was kind of spread around. And you'd meet at tournaments, and you'd see who the players from around the nation were. You're like, oh my, there's a lot of people everywhere. And you're seeing, especially in the last few years, that like the upper divisions of like NXL and Pro Division, Semi-Pro, and that stuff is like just conglomeration of the best players on just certain teams. It's like, oh wow, we have 18 professional teams. Yeah, well, 5 of them have a chance to win the damn thing, and that's like period. Like,
yeah, no, I agree. That's what kind of amazed me when I got back into it. Because I seen the D4, D5, and all this stuff. Back in the day, in the same way the WCPL is now, it's open play. When I started playing paint, the very first tournament I played professional was 15 man. It was at the Lively's Masters, and we played. We almost won it. I think we ended up taking second, and this was our very first tournament. Period. And it was put together with guys that I had from around here, and we went back to Nashville and played, and it was all pump back then. And we ended up. We lost to. They weren't Aftershock. They became Aftershock after that. Keith Kissel's watching. Keith, what was the name of the team back there? Anyhow, but we were a put together team, and we did practice before we went there, but we never played a tournament, a major tournament like that. We went and we ended up taking second place, and it was absolutely very, very cool. And then after that, we came back, and some of us bonded, and some guys wanted to go out on their own. So, we kind of fringed off a little here. And the next thing I know, they changed it to 10 man, went from 15 to 10 man. Then from 10 man, it went down to 7 man. And then from 7 man, it went down to 5 man, So I thought, a couple more years will be 1-on-1. But, I'm glad to see the 10 man is coming back. I think the 10 man is a perfect number for paintball. And the 7 man's pretty good too. What do you guys, Lords of Discipline? Thank you. Facebook user, whoever you are, thank you. I appreciate that, buddy. It was Lords of Discipline that we lost to. And then after that tournament, they became Aftershock. And, Rennick Miller's team, and they were Aftershock for a lot of years. What do you guys think? What's your favorite amount? Do you like the 10 man? Do you like the 5 man, or do you like the 7 man? Start with you, Todd.
I think you lost you.
I think so. You're right. Then I'm going to start with you, Dylan.
I personally prefer the 10 man. 7 man's funny. Every time we go to play a 7 man, it's always kind of a learning curve, and it's also like, well, who are we not going to play? You know what I mean? Because all 10 bodies on the field, they all have their own jobs and everything. So it's kind of different. But because we're built to be a 10-man team, so I do like 10-man, but I will play anything and everything that has to do with paintball.
That was actually a very, very good answer. That was a very good answer. But I like 10-man too. But you're absolutely right. How about you, Mitch?
My absolute favorite to play is 7-man uncapped semi bonus ball central. It is hands down the funnest way to play paintball. And you don't see that much anymore.
Hey, what I noticed, what was funny is when I went out there, I walked out on the field.
Something happened
and you get where the net is, and the first
you all
6
sound
feet
like the
coming out from the
Chipmunks
net,
right now.
solid paintballs. Hey, Todd, you lost your camera, my friend.
At least I'm not the only one having problems.
Oh, you're doing good.
I can't hear you guys anymore. Sounds like the Chipmunks talking.
Oh no. Can you read lips?
Let me reload it.
Okay, yeah, go ahead. I was gonna do some mime stuff, but anyhow. Yeah, I just I hope you guys get a chance to I know that Mitch is going to get a chance to go back to Tim's field. Tim Schloss has Gateway Paintball in St. Louis. And I got to tell you, Dylan, he has like 15 fields. He has 109 or 110 acres there. He's got his own lake on it too.
Oh,
but
wow.
you have to see these fields, Dylan. I mean, he has every kind of field that's imaginable, but they're all just they're all groomed just beautiful. Just everything. So how's that, Todd? You good to go?
Yeah, I'm good. Sorry, my phone was ringing like.
Everybody telling you how young you look.
It was super fast in the Chipmunks. That's all I could hear. And then when you guys were laughing, it was too much for me.
Yeah, Dylan was laughing at me. But anyhow, I asked those guys a question. What was your favorite? You like 10-man, 7-man, or 5-man?
I think I like them all for different things, but if I had to choose one, I think 10-man. I like that. Yeah. It's a different game. You know what I mean? You can lose a few bodies and still be in the game, and you spread it out, a lot of paint flying. So And I think it also kind of lends to the field size. You know, in the woods, you obviously would do better with 10, I think, than 5 or 7.
Mark Gong, 15 man. Oh,
That's
Mark,
what
I
I was
love
going
it.
to ask about. I was going to be like, how much paint was going on that? And did you guys ever
Yeah.
come out of your bunkers, right?
I
Like
remember the day. You know what? That's another thing that blows me away too. You know, I go up there and my friend Dan Ringer, he had his team Smack out there, right? And those are some great guys also. Dan goes, yeah, he says, we play about an hour. He says, we shot 30 cases of paint. And I'm like, oh my God, you know,
wow.
yeah, back in the day, you would take and shoot 30 cases of paint for a 15 man because, you know, you were out there pumping and you were out in the woods and everything like that. But that's back when paint was like $1.50 a case. You know, now, you know, you go out there, it's $35 a case. You're like, what the hell?
Where are you getting your paint from? I need $35 cases.
Oh, really? Oh, geez. Well, I'm gonna have to hook you up.
We pay $55 for ours.
Oh, do you really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, we'll have to talk.
Absolutely, please.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what. As a matter of fact, I heard it even went lower for that tournament out there. For some of the teams, that it was even lower.
Oh, for tournaments, yeah, the cases were 35. But when I just go to Capital Edge to have some fun on the weekend, it's 55 to 60.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah. Yeah, because it was 35 a case for the tournament itself. So, you know, which is not bad, but you know, like I say, back in the days, it was 150 a case.
Yeah.
Am I right, Mitch?
Wow.
Oh
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. You know, I paid for Constant Pursuit. I take Constant Pursuit to 6 NPL tournaments a year, and each tournament cost me about 10,000, sometimes a little bit more, because I paid for their airfare. I paid for everything but the rental car, because I didn't trust them with the rental cars. So you know, I had a great bunch of guys, but they were crazy. I think that's what I loved about them. But you know, we did just a lot of cool things, and some of the best people that I've ever met in my entire life, I owe to paintball. You know, and some of the best memories I've had in my entire life, I owe to paintball. So, you know, the people that don't go play it right now, if you're watching this, you're going to want to go out and try it. And you're going to meet guys like you see on the screen right here. You know, I mean, any of these guys, you go up and talk to them, they're going to sell you on the sport and they're going to sell you on themselves. Because, like I say, you know, I only put the good on this show, period. I don't have room for the bad guys. So, Mitch,
and then we'll recruit you.
Oh, go ahead, Todd. I'm sorry, what?
And then I'll try and recruit you at the same time.
Yeah.
To be on the team. Hey, we need another guy who gets them first, you know, or girl, whoever.
So, Dylan, you played with them to start. You played with Todd to start with, huh? For a while.
I did, yeah. I went out to Davis. They had I can't remember, Todd. I don't know if you do, but once a month, the second or third week of the month, on Saturday, they always had pump day where the speedball field was set up just for pump guns. And we would go out there with the dirt bags. And originally, it was just me and my dad going out to support Micah McLaughlin, his field out there in Davis.
Yep.
And then we met Todd and we met Daniel and, you know, we met Thaddeus and, you know, all the original Wolverines.
Shane and
Shane. And, you know, we started tagging along with them. And then eventually we started going to tournaments. We won. Well, we didn't win. We placed second and third at a chosen 4 down in LA. And
yeah, we had to play each other. Or I think it was third and fourth, but we had to play against each other for that one. Remember?
Yeah.
That was unique.
So
all on the same team. You guys were on the same team. You just split the team up.
Yeah,
we had 2 4-man.
Wolverines too. Yep.
That's hilarious.
So,
but you took
and
second
then we're
and
like,
third.
Who's eating crow on the way home, right? Like whoever got that fourth was a little, you know, you got a medal, but it was still like, man, we didn't get the third though.
I'll be honest, I've had some of my best memories playing with Todd and all the Wolverines. So it's always really nice to see them out at tournaments, and hopefully they come to Chicago with us this year and we can party in Chicago.
Yeah, we're planning on doing the ICPL as well, so you know it's going to be trouble.
Is that the one in September, Dylan?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was talking to Tommy about that this last weekend, but he didn't know what the date was for it. He just knew
I
it was
don't.
like the middle of September or something. He was saying
It's the end. It's
The
the
end of September.
31st to the 2nd, I believe, or the 30th to the 2nd. I need to double check, but it's
to the 2nd of October.
Mhm.
Wow.
It's like a 3-day event.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a Masters, so it's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for 10 men.
Mhm.
So
Wow. Is that just a 10-man or is it a 5 or is it a
I
7?
believe they're doing a 5-man on Thursday. If I'm not wrong. It was supposed to be 15-minute games, but then they just changed it to 10-minute games. So things are kind of been, changing every now and again, but right before the tournament. So, who knows at this point.
Yeah. But Tommy didn't even know the date.
Yeah.
It's his tournament. I'm going, come on. Man.
I didn't either. My dad buys me my plane tickets. I reimburse him, and he gives me the dates. And I honestly forget until it's almost time to go, and then I'm rushing to pack everything up and hopping on an airplane to go play paintball. So
I love it. Yeah. Well, I hope you
Not a
guys do
bad
good
life.
there.
Thank
I
you.
hope. Are you going to that one, Todd?
Yeah, we're going there. Yeah, we're
Very
trying to get
cool.
everyone to get their plane tickets still last minute and all that fun
Yeah.
stuff, right?
Right.
That's the
Very-
hardest part of a 10-man tournament traveling is getting everyone to buy their plane tickets, and
Yeah.
in
See,
my
that's
experience, and commit to the hotel and all that. So
when I had Constant Pursuit, I'd get all our tickets at one time. I knew who was going, so I'd go buy all the tickets. I already had the hotel set up before we even got there. And like I say, I did everything except the food and the cars. But the entrance back then was like $2,500 too for a team. It wasn't like it is now.
wow.
But hell, you won. I mean, first place was like $25,000 for a lot of those
Yeah.
tournaments we went to.
Sheesh.
So yeah, it was worth it.
I
And
think
like I
we've
say,
seen what, like 1,200 deal or something on one of those tournaments. You basically get your entry fee paid back now if you win,
Yeah.
or if you
yeah,
place like in the top 3.
Yeah. They definitely gave more back to the players back in the day than now.
Mm-hmm.
oh, absolutely.
But I'll take
like
a
you say,
$1.
paint was
You want to pay me to play paintball? Okay, yes, I'll take
yeah,
that.
but paint was $1.50 a case too, guys, too. So I mean,
Yeah.
you can afford to give
Yeah.
away 25,000.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's kind of how it was. So, well, guys, we kind of blow through the hour. I could talk to you guys all night. I can't even begin to tell you how much I appreciate you guys coming on, and I'm sure all our viewers did too. We had quite a few viewers here, and I know the show's going to go over real good because a lot of people were interested in you guys before we even had the show start. So it was pretty cool. So Todd, I'm going to start with you. I'm going to let you say goodbye to everybody, but let me say up front how much I appreciate so much you coming on, how much I appreciate your friendship, and how much I appreciate what you do for paintball, buddy. So I'm going to let you say goodbye to everybody.
Wow, thank you. I mean, that's the kindest thing anybody's ever said to me in paintball, and I appreciate that. And yeah, love the Wolverines, love all our NorCal teams that we get to play with, to play against, to get better, and just a shameless plug on the Golden State Threads too, trying to get those jerseys out, as much as we can. And thank you for having me
give it a
on.
plug. Who puts them out?
I do. That's my company. Golden State Threads are like a Renegade 2.0, I guess you could say. Some of the old Woods Ball type jerseys, cotton
So
twill.
so Todd, if somebody wanted to get a hold of you to get some of those, where would they go, my friend?
GoldenStateThreads.com.
Just like that.
Yeah, there's a site with it. Has all the stuff. We have a new hooded jersey coming out for the winter as well. So
Amazing.
Very
By
cool.
the way.
Yeah. You're more than welcome to go ahead and put it on my site anytime.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm involved with the new Tiger Stripe coming out, but I'm one of them guys. I whatever's good for paintball, I'm in. I don't just have like if you shoot this marker and you shoot this marker, I'll have both marker guys on at different times. Because I just don't like centering on one thing. I think it's great. So wait for the hooded jersey. This is what Mark said.
Yeah, here I think I have one actually.
Yeah. Oh, do you? Yeah. There you go.
A little.
Oh, I like it. Very cool.
The camera. I'm not camera inclined here. But yeah, and the biggest feature of it is the front pocket folds up so you can conceal your belt. see if we can get this in the camera to actually capture it. So that conceals your pod belt when it flips back down. It's like a front
very
pocket in a
cool.
hoodie, though. Yeah.
Wow. Well, see, you got to thank Mark now. You know, Mark and I go back a long way. I've had Mark on my television show for ESPN down at MGM Disney, and Mark and I go back a long ways. Great guy.
Mark's a good guy. Good guy.
He is. And you know what you said earlier, that's the best something somebody ever said to you. Let me tell you, Todd, you earn stuff like that. That's how you get praise from other people, is by earning it, by being nice. People always wonder, you know, how do you get successful? You know, how do you get popular? You get popular from being nice. There's no special formula for it. You know, when you're nice, and people pick up on that, and next thing you know, you are popular just because you're nice. That's the formula. And you did a great job tonight. I appreciate so much for coming on, my friend.
Thank you for having me, Fred. Appreciate that.
All right. You have a good evening, guys. Stay safe down there in Texas.
Yeah. Thank you. Good seeing you, Mitch and Jill. See you soon.
See you next weekend, Todd.
Oh, yeah.
All right, everybody. That was Mr. Todd Fonzi. I appreciate so much him coming on and being on with us tonight. That was absolutely cool because I knew he had to travel for business today. So that was absolutely great. Dylan, you're next, my friend. I want to start up front right away by saying how much I appreciate so much you coming on tonight. And I would like to have all you guys back on again sometime. I think you guys were great interviews. I wish we had more time, but I enjoyed the heck out of it. And I think the people that watched it tonight, and I know the people that are going to watch it in the next few nights, are going to love the hell out of you guys. You guys are a class group. So right up front again, I want to thank you so much for coming on, and I'm going to let you say goodbye to everybody.
Thank you for having me on, and I'm more than willing to come on whenever you want me to. So bye, everybody.
You're going to wish you didn't say that. I'm going to have you dragging you out all the time now, man.
Not a problem to me. So
hey, tell your dad I said hi, will you?
I will.
All right. You stay safe. And again, thanks a lot, my friend. I'm definitely going to have you back on. You're a great interview.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye now. All right, everybody. That was Mr. Dylan Cadbury. What a great kid. I thought those are two great guys, aren't they, Mitch?
Oh, 100%. I love both of them.
Oh, yeah. You know, I mean, I loved his dad. Dirk is a terrific guy, and you could see the apple didn't fall far from that tree because Dylan's a first-class kid, man. Mm-hmm. That's something. He's a growing guy, and I got to call him a kid. I guess that happens when you're 105. Everybody's a kid.
And don't worry, I'm catching up.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to trade with me, Mitch.
You might be right.
Yeah. And Mitch, you know, I appreciate so much you coming on tonight, buddy. Very, very cool. You know, you've been around the sport for a long time. A lot of people know you. I'm very glad to have you as a friend. And I am looking forward to having you back on again sometime also.
I can't wait to be back on. It'd be awesome.
You did a great job tonight, buddy. You really did. I just, I enjoyed it. You know, I enjoyed talking to you when we're at the tournaments. Now I can't wait to see you in St. Louis. So, yeah, you know, no matter who you play with, you got to come and hang out with me and the band.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, you know, because you know who the band members are. They're the best.
Well, that's the best thing about traveling for paintball is just hanging out with all the people. You have to go back to the East Coast at least once a year to see all those guys. You have to go to Florida at least once a year to see all those guys.
Yeah,
you have to go to SoCal once a year to see all those guys.
Yeah,
a couple of weeks I got to go up to Seattle so I can see all of those guys.
What's up in Seattle?
KC Crusader 24-hour game.
Oh, wow.
They start at 10 a.m. on Saturday, and the game goes till 3 p.m. on Sunday. So it's actually like a 36-hour game.
Holy crap. Wow.
And it's all night long. It's an amazing field. There's a river running right through the middle of the field, and there's like 10 bridges, all kinds of bunkers. They set up lights all night so you can got all these objectives to go find. So you're not stumbling around in the dark, but there is enough dark that if you want to go stumble around in the dark, you can.
Very
just a great game.
Wow. Well, once again, I want to tell you right up front, I'm going to let you say goodbye to everybody, Mitch, but I appreciate so much you coming on tonight, man, and talking paintball with me.
Thank you for having me, Fred. I'm gladly come back anytime.
All right. You have a good evening, Mitch.
I shall. Same to you.
All right, buddy. All right, everybody. That was Mr. Mitch Gaynor. Very, very proud to have him on tonight. You know, Mitch goes back a long way in paintball, just like I do. And, you know, having Todd and Dylan on and Mitch, that was just three terrific people having on tonight. I'm so very, very proud and happy that they agreed to come on my show tonight. And I'm very, very happy with all of you for watching. There's never enough thanks I can give for my viewers. You know, you guys just mean the world to me. And I can never thank you enough for watching the show. You know, I love paintball. I love supporting paintball. And I love pushing paintball. And when you guys sit there and you watch it with me and you chime in and you just, some of the things you say, I think are just absolutely terrific. And I can't say anything other than I love you guys. I appreciate it very, very much. So without further ado, until next Tuesday evening at 7:00 Pacific time on Facebook, on Flagpole Productions, please, everybody, play hard, play safe, play fair, but get out there and play paintball. See you guys. Bye now.